So the first thing that I would like to talk about, even before starting the research paradigms and the research methods. So this is what we need to recall or refresh our comprehension or understanding about the research process. So in front of you, you can see that a diagram is there, and that is actually depicting the research process. That why we start the research and where we want to go. So you can see that actually our research, whatever the field that we are going to conduct our research, that basically starts with a question. Actually, that we do have certain questions in our mind that we want to answer objectively and scientifically. I'm not going into the detailed discussion of the research cycle or the research process because it's not the main topic of the day. So I would like to come to the research methods, but simply just to give you a background that what I'm going to talk about today. So that will be based on the research process. Actually, that the research starts with the questions, and sometimes we see that these questions are in the direct form. That we do have the questions with WH questions or what, where, when, why, who, and how questions. We do have how much, how many, how far. So we have these questions, but you see that sometimes these questions they exist in the form in an indirect form in a different way. For example, that sometimes these questions appear in the form of the problem. Sometimes these questions appear in the form of the hypothesis. Sometimes that we want to find out the relationship between the two phenomena. Sometimes that we do have so many options and we have to select them. Sometimes we have already the data and we want to analyze it. Mean to say that these research questions or these basic questions they can be in different form. And the purpose and the objective of our research is to reach the answers of these questions. So if we have a question, we want to know the answer of the question. If we have a problem, we want to know the solution of the problem. If we have the hypothesis, we want to testify that it is approved or it is not approved. And if we want to know the relationship between the two phenomena, then we want to know at the end that the relationship is a correlation or that is a causal relation. And if we have some options at the end, we want to see that what we have selected. Mean to say that our research is actually a journey from question to the answer, and we want to know the answers of these questions objectively. So when we say that we want to know the answers of the questions objectively and not on the basis of our own intuition, of our own experiences, you can see that everybody in our country or everybody everywhere we do have the answers of every question. आप किसी कॉमन पर्सन से भी पूछ लें, किसी चाय वाले से भी पूछ लें, तो वो आपको हर क्वेश्चन का कोई ना कोई आंसर बता देगा. ठीक है, बट हियर द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द ले पर्सन एंड द रिसर्चर, दैट द रिसर्चर doesn't answer the question on the basis of his own personal liking, disliking, experience, thinking, knowledge, gender, but actually the researcher finds the answers of these questions objectively, not subjectively but objectively. Now you see that so there's a big question that how we can maintain this objectivity. So for this, we try to find out the answers of our questions based on the data. Mean to say that we claim that whatever the answer that we have found, it's not our personal answers, it's not my subjective thinking, but whatever I have found. So this is actually based on the data. So you can see that now we see that the entire research process that depends on the data that you have collected, because if the data is valid, the answer will be valid. If the data is reliable, the answer will be reliable. If the data is genuine, the answer will be genuine. If the data is authentic, the answer will be authentic. So everything of the research process, the credibility, the authenticity, the genuineness, and validity of our questions, of our answer, that depends on actually the data. So, but still you see that the research process is not complete here. Data definitely is very important, and all the research findings they depend on the data. But it is more important to see how we have collected the data. Simply, the data is not enough, but we have to validate our data collection tools, our data collection methods, our data collection process. In simple data collect करना काफी नहीं है, बल्कि we have to see कि how we have collected the data, the way we have collected the data, Is it valid or reliable? Definitely, the tool जो आपने use किया है, if your tool is valid, then you will be able to collect the valid data. If your tool is reliable, then you will be able to collect the reliable data. And so on. जो भी आप project के साथ लगा लें, you will see that actually your data that depends on your data collection methods. So here in the process, you can see that it's very important okay, how we are collecting the data. Now, but still the story is not complete here. So another very important thing, because sometimes we collect the data and the data is valid and reliable, but still the story is not complete here. Another very important step in the process of the research is that do we have the ability to analyze the data appropriately and correctly? क्या जो डेटा आपने कलेक्ट किया है आप उसको एनालिसिस सही तरीके से कर सकते हैं? दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो because very much possible that the data that you have collected is valid and reliable, but if you don't have the ability that you can statistically analyze the data or you can qualitatively analyze the data or whatever the techniques that are required for a certain kind of the data, so will not be able to reach the right answers. So data analysis techniques, so this they are very important to see because if you don't have the ability to analyze the data, then unluckily or sorry that will not be able to reach the right answers. Please, you must have in mind. So this is a word brief I wanted to start my discussion with. That the research process. Only the last point here. Now you see that I have written here the title, the research cycle. Research is not only research doesn't go in the linear direction, but it is actually the cycle. Now you can see that the findings or the answers that we find at the end, from these answers, there emerge many questions. From these solutions, there emerge many problems. So and then we restart our research. यानी हमारे पास एक क्वेश्चन था, क्वेश्चंस के हम आंसर्स हमने फाइंड किया, जो हमने आंसर्स फाइंड किए उसमें फिर फर्दर क्वेश्चंस निकलेंगे एंड देन योर रिसर्च प्रोसेस दैट विल बी restarted. So research is actually a cyclic process. It doesn't stop anywhere. So you can see that for the last hundreds of the years, the humanity or human beings, the scientists, the social scientists, they are busy in the researches because whatever they find, then from their finding, many other questions they emerge. From their solutions, many other problems emerge. And this way, the research cycle that continues goes on. And this is the cycle of the progress. So now come to the first section of my discussion. So that what I want to discuss. So this is the research paradigms. And it is very important to understand for both linguistics and literature students and the researchers that what paradigm that we are going to deal with or what is our approach in research. You see that paradigm is actually a philosophical word that what actually the philosophical concept of our research that we have in our mind. हम अपनी रिसर्च को philosophically कैसे देखते हैं? So you can see that paradigms, जैसे broadly speaking, तो दो ही हैं हमारी. आपकी एक तो ऑब्जेक्टिविज्म है, सब्जेक्टिविज्म जिसके डिफरेंट नेम्स हैं. ऑब्जेक्टिविज्म मींस पॉजिटिविज्म है. when we believe that realities they do exist and reality is independent of the researcher. And reality is not only a perception or the perspective, but reality is an absolute thing and we can find it. ऑन द अदर हैंड आप देखें जो दूसरी आपकी पैराडाइम है, दिस इज जिसमें मैंने बोला सब्जेक्टिव पैराडाइम या आप उसको कहें कंस्ट्रक्शनिज्म. सो कंस्ट्रक्शनिज्म दैट बिलीव दैट द रियलिटी is not independent of the researcher. Reality is only a perspective. And what we think as a reality, this is only a perception. So coming to the research paradigm, so broadly, normally that what we discuss, we have two main paradigms, the quantitative research paradigm and qualitative research paradigm. अच्छा आप देखें whatever the topic or the question that we take, जो भी आप जिस पे भी आप रिसर्च करेंगे तो you will see that we actually address two kinds of problems. One kind of problems are those which are measurable, which are countable, which are concrete. इनको आप measure कर सकते हैं. How many how many students have more than 3 CGPA in the class? You can count it. In हमारे पास life में one kind of reality is that which we can count, which we can measure. So when we talk about the numbers, numerics, statistics, measurement, digits, facts, and figures, so this is what we say quantitative research paradigm. So on the other hand, you will see that sometimes our questions or whatever we want to find out, so they are not measurable. They are not measurable and they are not countable. For example, our behaviors, our opinions, our feelings, our affiliations, our understanding, so our learning, our knowledge. So you see that they are not statistically measurable. We can feel them, we can understand them, but we cannot measure them statistically or in numbers or numerics. So when we conduct our research on the behaviors and the attitudes, so this is what we say qualitative research paradigm or the qualitative research. And we must know that the difference between the quantitative and qualitative research. So coming to the detail, you see that actually you know that we have नॉर्मली हमारे जहन में हर चीज को हम एक अपोजिट के एंगल से समझते हैं तो मैंने इसके पहले आपको पॉइंट यहाँ दिया है एंड विल डिस्कस दिस लेटर ऑन सो व्हेन वी सी दैट समथिंग इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अस तो इट मींस हम क्या समझते हैं दैट दिस थिंग इज अपोजिट टू अस because normally the different realities are taken as opposing realities because it's not always there. Realities may be different but still they are complementing each other. Any male, female, take a day, night, white, black, they are different, but they are not opposed to each other. They are actually complementing each other. So दो डिफरेंट चीजों को आप ये नहीं समझना है जैसे ऐसे अभी मैंने आपसे बात की थी क्वालिटेटिव एंड क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च पैराडाइम्स मे बी पॉसिबल दैट समथिंग मे कम टू योर माइंड that they are opposite to each other and they are different in that sense that they are not compatible but actually they are different हम उसके difference देखेंगे लेकिन but later on we'll see that how they are complementing each other. So ये उसकी philosophical background है जो मैंने अभी आपसे बात की थी कि that the first difference between the qualitative and quantitative research paradigm is that of the philosophical nature. उनकी philosophy different है. Quantitative research paradigm is based on objectivism, positivism, deductive approach, and then statistical analysis or the statistical data. While on the other hand, we see that the qualitative research paradigm, they are based on the questions or they are based on the philosophy of constructivism, interpretivism, inductive approach, and then qualitative or qualitative analysis or interpretation of the phenomena. Instead of counting or measuring the phenomena, they go for the interpretation of the phenomena. So this is further, you can see later on. So I'll provide you the slides. And if you want further details on these issues, so please you can visit my YouTube channel, titled Dr. Dance Academy. तो वहां से भी फर्दर अगर आप इन चीजों को देखना चाहें तो डिटेल्स आप देख सकते हैं. Now come to इसी को हम कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं कि दैट द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द क्वालिटेटिव एंड क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च पैराडाइम कहाँ का डिफरेंस होते हैं. अच्छा प्लीज जो मैं अभी आपसे मैंने पहले बात की कि रिसर्च प्रोसेस को हमने डिस्कस किया तो यू सी दैट द very basic, the very first step in the research process is that of the research question. And definitely at the very first step, the qualitative and quantitative research paradigm, they are different. The qualitative researches, they do have the questions or different types. In the quantitative researches, they do have the questions of different types. या आप यूँ समझ लीजिए कि अगर आपके क्वेश्चंस क्वालिटेटिव होंगे तो आपकी रिसर्च पैराडाइम आपको क्वालिटेटिव फॉलो करनी पड़ेगी. अगर आपके रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस क्वांटिटेटिव होंगे तो देन आपको जो आपके रिसर्च पैराडाइम या आगे मेथड भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे वो आपको क्वांटिटेटिव यूज करने पड़ेंगे. So qualitative questions you can understand actually they are based on the measurement, the numerics, something that is countable. तो और जबकि आप क्वालिटेटिव क्वेश्चन जो है वो आपके डिफरेंट होंगे. So in the slide you can see first the qualitative questions. They can be exploratory questions. You are exploring some phenomena, exploring some reality. They can be predictive questions. On the basis of the fact you are predicting something, and they can be interpretive questions. You are interpreting the text. Very particularly जो literature के students बैठे हुए हैं, तो उनकी जो mostly studies हैं, they are based on the interpretive questions, that they are interpreting the other discourses. Normally that they interpret what the other people are saying or what the other authors are saying. So the qualitative research paradigm will have the questions exploratory, predictive, or interpretive. For example, you can see what is the effect of personal technology on today's youth. You can see that now we're talking about that what the youth is thinking about the impact or the effect of technology on them. Now, what you will do definitely अभी आगे हम देखते हैं क्या इसकी method भी different होगा, क्योंकि ये आपसे एक exploratory question है. And on the other hand, you see that the quantitative researches, they do have the different questions. For example, that intuitive questions, they can be descriptive questions. We are describing some phenomena. They can be comparative questions. They can be relationship-based questions. Example, you can see what percentage of the college students have felt depressed in the last year. Now you see जो example आपके सामने आई है, इसमें actually what we are doing, we are calculating the percentage, or we are measuring the percentage, or we are counting the percentage. So you see that the percentage, cumulative percentage, and the other influential statistical tests, ये सारे जो है base किस पे करते हैं, counting per frequency पर, कि what is the frequency of some phenomena. So जो रिसर्च प्रोसेस में हमने पहले बात की कि रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च क्वेश्चन डिफरेंट होंगे, क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस डिफरेंट होंगे. नाउ कम टू द सेकंड एस्पेक्ट जो हमने रिसर्च प्रोसेस में बात की थी, दैट द डेटा ऑफ द रिसर्च. Now you will see that the qualitative researches will have the different type of the data, and the quantitative researches will have the different kind of data. The quantitative researches will have the data in the form of number, numerics, digits, figures, facts, countable, measurable realities. Well, on the other hand, we see that the qualitative researches will have the data in the form of text, words, discourse, alfaz honge, opinions, feelings, impressions, reflections. So this is the difference between the qualitative and quantitative data. And so you must understand that the data is of two types and what kind of data that you are going to deal with. So in the slide, you can further see that the difference between the quantitative and qualitative data. And now come to the third difference between the qualitative and quantitative research paradigms is that of the choice of your methods or data collection methods, data collection tools, or what methods of data collection that you are using. So in front of you, you can see that qualitative researches normally go for interviews, focus groups, ethnographic studies, case studies, literature reviews. While on the other hand, we see that the quantitative researches, they do have a different research design. For example, that the quantitative researches will go for the survey research design, the secondary data somebody else has collected, observational studies or the research, experimental research, and the content analysis. So the third thing you must understand that the data that have collected or you are collecting, so what kind of data that you have collected, either it is the qualitative or it is a quantitative data. And lastly, जो हमने research process में देखा, that it is important to see that how you are analyzing the data. So definitely we see that when we have the different research paradigms, we have the different research, the data analytical techniques. For the qualitative analysis, we have the different analytical tools. For example, that for the qualitative studies, we go for the content analysis, narrative analysis, discourse analysis, grounded theory, thematic analysis, and we use a different software for the qualitative, for example, NVivo that we use for the qualitative data analysis. On the other hand, so in the yellow circle, you can see that for the quantitative studies, for the quantitative data, we go for the statistical or numerical analysis. We go for the descriptive statistical analysis. We go for the inferential statistical analysis. We go for the frequency and computation of the data. So this data is based on actually counting and frequency and statistics. So so this is a summary you can see. अभी तक जो हमने बात डिस्कस की उसकी थोड़ी समरी में आपको के सामने 4 पॉइंट्स में आपके सामने हमने बात की कि दैट द डिफरेंस बिटवीन the research paradigms, qualitative research paradigms and quantitative research paradigms. And here we have discussed the 4 points. Number 1, the difference between research question and problem, the difference between the data, difference between data collection methods, and the difference between data analysis techniques. अच्छा अभी इसी फर्स्ट सेक्शन के जो एक पार्ट या एक क्वेश्चन आप देखें हम मैंने आपके सामने किया है. Let's say that you are going to start your study. The first question that will come to your mind, either qualitative or quantitative. You are the researcher of linguistics or you are the researcher of literature. Definitely that जो भी हमने बात की सारी तो definitely that the first question that will come to your mind, you should opt for the qualitative or quantitative. अब आप quantitative study करेंगे या qualitative study करेंगे या एक क्वेश्चन आप पुट अप करेंगे अपने सुपरवाइजर से और बाकी टीचर से that what should you choose. So अब इसका देखें इसमें एक आपको ये राइट पर यू कैन सी लेफ्ट पर आई एम सॉरी दैट बाइनरी opposition thinking. Please avoid the binary opposition thinking. Qualitative studies and quantitative studies, linguistics and literature or whatever else, they are different, but they are not opposed to each other. पहले बात तो ये नोट कर लें, they are complementing each other. तो अब आगे थोड़ा सा देखें मैं कर ये थोड़ा सा हिस्टोरिकल डिस्कशन में क्विकली जरा गो थ्रू करूंगा. In 1970s and 80s and even in the 1990s, so there was a war of the paradigm and the people used to believe that they are two different paradigms. They have the different philosophies, they have the different methods, they have different data analytical techniques, so they are not compatible with each other. इस दौर को इस एज को हमने नाम दिया paradigm incompatibility, that these two paradigms are not compatible, so they cannot work together, they cannot go together. You can be either a qualitative researcher or you can be either a quantitative researcher. अब ये नहीं हो सकता कि दोनों चीजों को साथ लें. और ये एक एज थी जिसमें झगड़ा भी था. जो साइंटिस्ट थे जो कोर साइंसेस के थे दे नॉर्मली गो फॉर द क्वांटिटेटिव स्टडीज और जो सोशल साइंटिस्ट थे दे नॉर्मली गो फॉर क्वालिटेटिव. ये पूरी एक हमारी एक टाइम गुजरा है, पूरी एक एज गुजरी जिसको हमने कहा पैराडाइम इनकम्पैटिबिलिटी. देखिए बट यू सी दैट जो रियल लाइफ जो है दैट इज वेरी डिफरेंट. रियल लाइफ हमारी बुक्स के मुताबिक नहीं होती बल्कि बुक्स हमारी रियल लाइफ के मुताबिक होती हैं. तो वट एवर वी आर फाइटिंग इन द बुक्स द रियल लाइफ डजंट चेंज. हाँ हमें लेटर ऑन वी हैव टू चेंज आवर बुक्स अकॉर्डिंग टू द रियल लाइफ, बिकॉज जो रियल लाइफ है वो एग्जिस्ट करती है और वो जैसे एग्जिस्ट करती है वो वैसे ही एग्जिस्ट करती रहती है. तो एक हमें ये आप देखें आपके सामने स्लाइड में आई थिंक आप देख सकते होंगे इसको कि विद द पैसेज ऑफ द टाइम जब बड़े बिजनेस टाइकून्स इंडस्ट्रीज में आए, बड़ी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आई, तो दे वांटेड टू नो दैट व्हाट देयर कस्टमर्स आर फीलिंग. अच्छा जब हमने फीलिंग की बात की या बिहेवियर्स की बात की तो डेफिनेटली हमारे जहन में आता है क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च, सॉरी क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च. अच्छा लेकिन जब उनके सामने बड़े एक लंबे डिटेल्स डिस्कशंस और डिटेल्स इंटरव्यूज दे वर पुट इन फ्रंट ऑफ देम, so they were not happy to read the long interviews and then to find out what the people are thinking. They actually wanted to have a very summarized data about the feeling. यानी आप यूं समझें एक उससे ये मैं थोड़ा सा कट शॉर्ट कर रहा हूँ तो एक अप्रोच डेवलप हुई जिसको हमने यूं समझें कि क्वांटिफिकेशन ऑफ द क्वालिटीज, यानी क्वांटिफिकेशन ऑफ द क्वालिटेटिव फीचर्स, यानी जो हमारे बिहेवियर्स हैं, एटीट्यूड्स हैं, फीलिंग्स हैं, उनको हमने क्वांटिफाई करना शुरू कर दिया, उनको नंबर में कन्वर्ट करना शुरू कर दिया. So this was a change, or this was आप समझें कि an emergence of the new era, that when we try to quantify our opinions, quantify our feelings, quantify the customer's behaviors. So this approach was called as what works approach. It was labeled as that what works, without going into any philosophical discussion that either you are a qualitative or quantitative in approaches को आप छोड़ें, but actually you must focus that what works. So how much customers are satisfied? Please don't tell us what the customer are saying. Simply give us a figure that our 90% customers are satisfied, or how much they are satisfied, how much they are happy. So how much they like the product. अब देखें, ये liking, disliking, feelings, opinions, ये सारी subjective होती हैं और ये सारी immeasurable होती हैं, लेकिन but एक जो अप्रोच स्टार्ट हुई, नाउ वी हैव टू क्वांटिफाई दीज फीलिंग्स. अच्छा, उससे फिर एक जो अप्रोच डेवलप हुई, द अप्रोच दैट नाउ वी बिलीव इन, सो दिस वाज द अप्रोच ऑफ मिक्स्ड मेथड अप्रोच. मीन टू से दैट नाउ यू कैन मिक्स, हाँ वी कैन. अब जो हमने पीछे भी चार डिफरेंसेस आपने देखे हैं, जो हमने स्टेजेस देखी थी, वी कैन मिक्स द क्वेश्चंस, we can mix the data collection tools, we can mix the analytical techniques. So यानी हम चीजों को मिक्स कर सकते हैं. So this was called mixed method approach, and this is the approach of the today. And you will see that hybridity, multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinarity, mixed method, mixed culture, mixed linguistics. Now they are very common words in the today's world, in the 21st century. कल्चर भी मिक्स हो रहे हैं, लैंग्वेजेस भी मिक्स हो रही हैं, आइडियोलॉजीज भी मिक्स हो रही हैं, एजुकेशन भी मिक्स हो रही है, हाइब्रिड हो रही है. तो ये बड़ा एक कॉमन आज हमारे लिए, दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन फ्रेज, मिक्स. सो मिक्स मेथड, hybrid method, multidisciplinary method, interdisciplinary method. अब डिफरेंट इसके नेम थे, डिफरेंट शेड्स हैं. रिसर्च में एक और वर्ड भी इसमें यूज किया गया, triangulation of the data, that we make a triangle, qualitative, quantitative, we combine them and then becomes the mixed method. So this was called triangulation. अब अच्छा, आप ये इसमें एक थोड़ा सा पॉइंट नोट कर लें, मिक्सिंग इज नॉट समथिंग रैंडम. ऐसे नहीं है कि एनीथिंग गोज इन, बस आप कोई चीज उठा के इसमें प्लेट में मिक्स कर दें. नहीं, दिस इज अ वेरी सिस्टमैटिक, very wise decision. So what you have to mix or where it is. For example, now we have the ability. अब देखिए corpus linguistics, जो आप corpus linguistics को जानते हैं, जिन्होंने पढ़ा है. Now you see that जो पहले आपका qualitative data था, उसको हम quantitatively analyze कर सकते हैं. So we can go for the quantitative analysis of the qualitative data, or similarly जो आपका क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा है उसको हम क्वालिटेटिवली एनालाइज कर सकते हैं. तो इसी तरह रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस आपके हैं, दे कैन बी द मिक्स्ड रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस. इस तरह जो आपके डेटा कलेक्शन टूल्स हैं, वी कैन आल्सो मिक्स देम. वी कैन कंडक्ट द इंटरव्यूज. हम पहले क्वेश्चनियर के जरिए हम क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं, फिर उसी डेटा को वैलिडेट करने के लिए वी कैन गो फॉर द क्वालिटेटिव इंटरव्यूज. तो मिक्स मेथड्स हैं. तो एनीवे, अभी डिटेल से हम डिस्कस नहीं कर रहे हैं. आप, मैंने कहा कि फर्दर आप वीडियोस इंटरेस्टेड हैं तो देख सकते हैं, लेकिन फॉर थोड़ा सा मैंने आपको इसे बताने के लिए कि हम कैसे कैसे मिक्स कर सकते हैं. नो, वी कैन मिक्स टू टाइप्स ऑफ द रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस. नंबर टू, फॉर एग्जांपल, we can mix the way the research questions are developed, यानी पार्टिसिपेटरी और वर्ष प्री प्लान है. नंबर थ्री, फॉर एग्जांपल, टू टाइप्स ऑफ सैम्पलिंग प्रोसीजर्स. हम प्रोबेबिलिटी और पर्पसिव दोनों को कंबाइन कर सकते हैं. Number four, two types of data collection procedures. For example, so focus group or surveys. And number five, two types of data that we can collect. तो ये हम collect कर सकते हैं. Similarly, you can see that for the two types of data analysis techniques we can combine or mix. Number seven, two types of conclusion. Amicuratic है, representation है, या objective subjective and so on. और ये इसी पे फिर फर्दर जो बेस करते हुए इन्हीं फील्ड्स के ऊपर मिक्स मेथोडोलॉजी में. So we went for the triangulation, that can be the data triangulation, data को combine कर लें. We can go for the investigator triangulation. Investigators can be from the different disciplines. We can go for theoretical triangulation. Different approaches को combine कर लें. We can go for methodological triangulation and so on. So इसको, ये slide आपके लिए important है, word important है, क्योंकि because this is the word of today. So in today's research, so how we see the research. देखिए जैसे मैंने पहले आपको पीछे से एक रिसर्च साइकिल का वर्ड लिया था, तो सिमिलरली वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वर्ड रिसर्च एज कॉन्टिन्यूम। रिसर्च एज कॉन्टिन्यूम, यानी रिसर्च आप समझिए दो जो एक्सट्रीम्स आपकी हैं, जैसे अभी हमने डिस्कस किया, या दो अपेरेंटली दो डिफरेंट आपको दिख रहे क्वालिटेटिव एंड क्वांटिटेटिव की दो जो एक्सट्रीम्स हैं, so basically they are not opposed, basically they are making a continuum, and our research that lies in between them, so this is what we say continuum, यानी हमारी रिसर्च इनके बीच में कहीं पर होगी, हम चीजों को मिक्स करेंगे, तो रिसर्च एज अ continuum. For example, that research can be a continuum between realism and relativism. Our studies, our research of today's, so they can be a continuum between positivism and interpretivism. They can be a continuum between quantitative and qualitative paradigms, and they can be methods के हिसाब से देखें तो they can be experimental as और interviews के तो different methods में combine कर सकते हैं. तो जो word हमारे लिए समझने का है for the students of literature as well as the students of linguistics, that today we actually go for the research as continuum. आज हम research को हम as a continuum के तौर पे लेते हैं, ना कि रिसर्च को हम एक एक्सट्रीम के तौर पे लेते हैं. तो दिस इज व्हाट वी सी कि हम रिसर्च बेसिकली जो है दिस इज एक्चुअली रिसर्च कंटिन्यू. ये फिर उसकी डिफरेंट आप देख सकते हैं कि फर्दर बहुत सारे टाइप्स जो हैं वो रिसर्च की फिर इस तरह बनाई गई और दी गई. तो और ये तकरीबन आज हमारे पास जो टाइप्स हैं दे आर 100 से ज़्यादा और 150 से ज़्यादा हमारे पास टाइप्स हैं. हम दो एक्सट्रीम्स में किस तरह चीज़ों को कंबाइन करते हैं, मिक्स करते हैं. सो लास्टली दैट जो आज पहले सेक्शन को मैं कंक्लूड आपसे करना चाहूँगा. Overall, mixed method research can and does cross-disciplinary boundaries and overcome limitations that have been associated with monodimensional approaches to the study of complex phenomena and research sites, such as the workplace. Mixed method research also helps in making the research relevant to wider audiences, but also in avoiding orthodoxies such as those imposed by monodimensional pursuits approaches to research that are potentially damaging to the spirit of inquiry. आज हम जो है मोनो डायमेंशनल से मल्टी डायमेंशनल, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी और रिसर्च एज ए कॉन्टिन्यूम की तरफ और मिक्स मेथड की तरफ हम अपने स्टडी को लेके जाते हैं. Dr. Saab, I think that we should rejoin because I want to start the section 2.
It's up to you, sir. No
I
issue.
think because ताकि बीच में ब्रेक ना है, हम अभी इसको ब्रेक करके फिर rejoin कर लेते हैं.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sir. So this is the first point that we need to be very clear about the research method, that what is the nature and the type of our research paradigm, so that further you can plan and write your research questions, your data, the type of the data collection tools, and all the things according to your research paradigm. या जो भी टॉपिक आपने लिया है, जो आपने क्वेश्चन लिए हैं, you must be clear that what actually your research design is, qualitative or quantitative or a mixed. And personally, as I've told you, that personally I think that mixed method is a very good option, and that is workable, or that is the research approach of today's world. So don't only rely on the statistics, and don't rely only on one tool, but go for the mixed method or mixed approach. So the second point that is very important for your research method or for your research studies is to decide and discuss about your research design. Research approach तो आपने बना ली. Now you will select that आपका research design कौन सा होगा, or you must be very clear about it. Read about your research design in detail. Whatever the research design you select or you think that it's suitable for your study, and then go for the detailed reading of it, उसके सारे parameters को देखें, उसके requirements को देखें, उसको understand करें, so that you can conduct a good study or good research. That number two, that you need to know that what is your research design. It is survey research. अगर survey research है तो it will be a cross sectional research. So you should know that आपकी स्टडी जो है वो क्रॉस सेक्शनल है या लॉन्गिट्यूडनल स्टडी है. You must be clear about it. So or it is an experimental study. तो एक्सपेरिमेंटल स्टडी देखें, ये पूरा एक रिसर्च डिजाइन है. इफ यू वांट टू हैव द डेफिनेटिव रिजल्ट्स और डेफिनेटिव फाइंडिंग्स आप चाहते हैं, तो देन यू विल गो फॉर एक्सपेरिमेंटल. या आपका क्लासरूम एक्शन रिसर्च है. नॉर्मली दैट मोस्ट ऑफ अस हु बिलोंग टू लैंग्वेज एंड लिटरेचर, so they normally belong to education as well. So either you want to conduct the classroom action research. क्योंकि क्लासरूम एक्शन रिसर्च जो है उसमें आप सारे मेथड्स को मिक्स करेंगे, एंड देन यू विल गो फॉर द प्रिडिक्टिव रिसर्च. और योर रिसर्च डिजाइन इज एनालिटिकल रिसर्च. एनालिटिकल रिसर्च आप कर रहे हैं, केस स्टडी कर रहे हैं. आप देखें केस स्टडी फॉर एग्जांपल यू चूज so that mostly that it will be a longitudinal study. You will go for the repetition of the data collection. You will go again and again and you will collect the data from the same subject. जो आप उनसे बार बार data आप collect करेंगे. So broadly speaking, you must decide that your research design is longitudinal or cross-sectional. You will be collecting the data at one point of time, or you will be collecting and then recollecting the data over a long period of time. Either that your study is content analysis or discourse analysis. For example, particularly that the literature students, you should know that you're going for the content analysis पे जा रहे हैं या discourse analysis पर. या आगे कौन सी theories आप use कर रहे हैं. So number second point is that you must decide or you must be clear about your research design and what research design that you will be following. Yes, you can mix the designs as well, but that will be a broader study. वो फिर आपने देखना है that can you manage more than one research design or only one research design is enough for you. Point number three, which is important for you to be clear and to know about your research method, is that clarify your tools of investigation. For example, that if you go for the survey method, further now you should be clear that in the survey method, what tool of data collection that you are going to use. Either you want to go for the questionnaires, or you want to go for the interviews, or you want to go for the both of them, or you want to go for the focus groups. ये सारे सर्वे में आते हैं. तो आपको टूल आपको क्लियर होने चाहिए. और टूल की जब हम टूल की बात करते हैं फर्दर, then you will validate your tool, that the tool that you are using, how much it is or it will be valid. And further जब आप पायलट स्टडी करेंगे, then फिर आप देखेंगे कि how much your tool is reliable. So the validity and the reliability and the authenticity and the genuineness of your tool, that you must be very clear about it. If you are using the questionnaire, if you are using the interviews, or you are using the focus group, whatever that you are using, तो आपको clear होना चाहिए कि आपका tool valid है, reliable है. और further, maybe that if you are using the laboratory experiments, you must be clear about them. Or if you are using the mathematical modeling, you must be clear about this. Or whatever your design techniques are there. Anyway, that the third point is to validate and see that what the tool that you are using, what is this tool. You will make this tool, or you will borrow this tool, or you will adapt this tool. Mean to say that you must be very clear, because all the data that you will be collecting during your study, that will be based on your research tool. आप समझें कि this is the heart of your, और पर्टिकुलरली जो अप्लाइड लिंग्विस्टिक्स में जो आप इसे स्टडी करेंगे, तो उनके लिए तो ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. बिकॉज मोस्टली द स्टडीज इन द फील्ड ऑफ अप्लाइड लिंग्विस्टिक्स, दे डिपेंड ऑन द डेटा कलेक्शन टूल. तो आपकी डेटा कलेक्शन टूल जो सारी स्टडी, सारे रिजल्ट्स, एवरीथिंग दैट इज डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर डेटा कलेक्शन टूल. दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू सी. हाँ, जो लिटरेचर में काम कर रहे हैं उनका डेटा पहले कलेक्ट होता है, एंड यू हैव दे हैव टू फोकस ऑन द एनालिसिस. एनीवे, दिस इज द थर्ड पॉइंट. Now come to the fourth point, and this fourth point is important to everyone. But आप करने के अगर particularly I'm addressing to the literature students. So what theoretical model that you are using? So what theories that you are using? whether they are the theories of education or they are the theories of literature. आप लिटरेरी theories को यूज करना चाह रहे हैं, कौन सी लिटरेरी theory को यूज करना चाह रहे हैं, किस पे अप्लाई करना चाह रहे हैं, सर गैप है या नहीं है, पहले इतना काम हुआ नहीं हुआ, तो what is the theoretical model that you are using, what theories that you are going to address, what theories of linguistics or what theories of literature, what theories of criticism, what theories of critical discourse analysis, what are the theories that you are using or that you will be following, and what the theories that you will be following. This is very important for you to understand and know. अच्छा, and along with the theories, you also need to know theories तो आपकी हो गई, theories तो आपकी broad हो गई, generalized हो गई. Now, what particular ये मैं linguistics वाले से खास I'm sorry, literature वाले से खास बात कर रहा हूँ because literature वालों को mostly मैंने देखा है कि ये थोड़ा सा missing area होता है. So that's what we have to focus on this. That what is the analytical or linguistic framework that you are using. For example, that you are working on the feminist theories, या eco-criticism की theories पे काम कर रहे हैं, या whatsoever, या postmodernism पे काम कर रहे हैं. So now you have to see that what linguistic features that you will be analyzing. So how you will say that some work is representing the postmodernism and how it is representing something. For this, you must be very clear about your analytical or a linguistic framework that how you will analyze some document. Anyway, this is the philosophical part of your research, that the theoretical and methodological framework. And number five, that's important and particularly more important for the students of linguistics and applied linguistics, but generally for everyone, your sampling. That what is your population? Population is known or unknown. What is the size of your sample? The sample size is small, or that is the big sample, or that is appropriate sample or not, and experimental and control group if you are using, or and then you will try to avoid the biases. Sampling methodology बहुत important है, very particularly जो applied linguistics में काम कर रहे हैं, और literature वाले भी, you will see that you are using probability sampling or you are using non-probability sampling, and even if you are using the probability or non-probability sampling, what further division that you are making is simple random sampling है, or it is a stratified random sampling है, or it is यानी ये आपकी further types to be, you have to see all of them. Anyway, sampling. And similarly, that for the literature students, that if you are selecting some particular extracts or the paragraphs from a particular work, what is the rationale behind this? If you are doing for non-probability purposes sampling आप कर रहे हैं, तो उसकी rationale दें, उसकी reason दें, उसकी logic दें, why you are selecting some paragraph and why you are not selecting the other paragraph. The sixth point that you have to see when you are deciding about your research methods, so what is your proposed data analytical technique or framework? So that the data that you are collecting, so you should be very clear that how you will be analyzing the data. For example, that you are collecting the qualitative data and then you will be analyzing it qualitatively or quantitatively. So one type of the data can be analyzed by both the ways. So you must be clear that how you are going to analyze the data, what analytical techniques that you will be using for the data. So indicate statistical methods अगर आपको पता होना चाहिए, analytical framework आपको क्या. Anyway, that deciding about your research method, you must be clear about your data analytical technique and the framework. And the last point is the research methods. That's very important, very common. Ethical considerations, uh, plagiarism, copyrights, falsification, wrong information, or without approval, doing something without approval, doing something without prior permission, privacy of the subjects, confidentiality of the subject. So all of them, they are the ethical considerations, और वो डेफिनेटली आपको बिल्कुल पता होना चाहिए, और इसको we must maintain the ethical consideration. And then what's the process of the data collection and other necessary details, how you will be collecting the data, from when to when you are going to collect the data, कहाँ से करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे, किसके पास जाएंगे, लॉजिस्टिक्स का यूज करेंगे. You will say that when you are deciding about your research method, you must be clear about all these topics. And the last thing is the boundaries of your research. That what are the delimitation of your study? What is the delimitation? देखिए हमने दो वर्ड लिख दिए, delimitation versus limitation. Limitations वो होती हैं, limitations uh, uh, are the issues which are beyond our control. Limitations actually they are those variables which are not in our control, which are not in the control of the researcher, and they are affecting the findings of the study. They are called limitations. Because delimitations.
Yeah. अच्छा.
So everything is fine at your end.
यार पेज कौन जी पेज कौन ही होता
Dr. Arjun sir,
Yes, please.
sir, everything is okay at your end. Sir, I say everything is okay at your end. मतलब आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
जी आ रही है सर.
Okay, the last point that I was talking about the delimitation and limitation. So you must be clear when you are deciding your research method that what is the delimitation of your study, the boundaries that you select deliberately for your study. This is what is the delimitation. कोई geographical delimitation है, कोई themes की वजह से delimitation है, कोई text या data की वजह से delimitations हैं. So we should be clear about the delimitation of your research method as well. So and with the second section, so I'm finished. So I would like to have your question answers. So I'll be happy that you have any question from this section. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Doctor, I would like to have the questions. If any questions from the audience.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute.
हाँ आ रहे हैं. अच्छा.
Yes, the house is open for questions.
क्या
You
करा?
may ask questions, please.
हेलो.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Questions.
Should I ask questions, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please. I'm hearing you.
This is Sultan Nasir, a student of MPhil second semester, sir. Sir,
Yes.
during your research as continuum, you have talked about ontology and epistemology. So what is the relation of these two philosophical branches of knowledge with research methodology? That shouldn't be understood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's very very relevant question, and मैंने उसको कुछ skip कर दिया था, लेकिन that's very important. Ontology and epistemology of the research. So ontology actually means that when we want to know about the nature of knowledge. So all of us, we have the certain fundamental questions in our life when we ask what is this, or what is the nature of this, what is the nature of the knowledge. जब हम पूछते हैं कि ये क्या चीज है, so this is what we say ontological question. Where we want to know the nature of the knowledge, nature of the reality, इसको बोलते हैं ontology. अच्छा आप देखें, अब all of us we have certain questions और हमारे पास उनके answers भी होते हैं. But you see that all of us we have the different answers of one question. एक क्वेश्चन होता है, उसका आंसर हमारे पास डिफरेंट होते हैं, बिकॉज एक्चुअली वी फॉलो द डिफरेंट रूट्स फॉर रीचिंग द आंसर्स ऑफ आवर क्वेश्चन. द वे हाउ वी नो द आंसर्स ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, दिस इज व्हाट वी से एपिस्टेमोलॉजी. यानी हमें किसी क्वेश्चन का आंसर्स हमें डिवाइन नॉलेज की बेस में मिले हैं, वी बिलीव एपिस्टेमोलॉजी हो गई आपकी. Sometimes we reach the answers of our questions, of our ontological questions, based on the experiments. So this is what we say empirical epistemology. Sometimes we reach the answers of our ontological questions based on logic. This is what we say logical epistemology. इन आंसर तक पहुंचने के जो रास्ते हैं, the way how we know something, this is what we say epistemology. और डेफिनेटली जैसे अब ये रिलेशनशिप आपने पूछा, वेरी गुड. Our ontology So that leads to the epistemology, and epistemology that leads to the methodology, and the methodology that leads to the methods, and leads to the techniques and the tools that we use in our research. ये पूरी हम एक इसको अप्रोच बनाते हैं कि इस तरह आप जैसे हमने शुरू में बात की कि आपकी क्वालिटेटिव या आपकी जो है सब्जेक्टिव ontology होगी, तो that will lead to the constructivism, interpretivism, और then फिर ये आपको क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च और कुछ डिफरेंट जो मेथड्स हैं. सिमिलरली अगर हमारे पास हमारी जो इफ वी हैव द ontology, हमारे पास ऑब्जेक्टिव ontology, so we'll go for the positivist approach, and then we'll go for the quantitative research paradigm, and then we'll go for the quantitative methods. We thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, next one. Yes, anyone else? For my students' understanding, I have a question. How can they select a topic and how can they find gap in research?
यस डॉक्टर साहब, ये आप बिल्कुल अपने और मेरे ख्याल से मेरे एक्सपीरियंस की बेस पर क्वेश्चन आपने ठीक बोला है कि हाउ टू फाइंड द रिसर्च क्वेश्चन. देखें, मेरे लिए अगर इस पे वीडियो भी है, अगर आप देखेंगे तो दैट विल बी ऑफ इंटरेस्ट टू ऑल ऑफ यू. Actually, what happens that our students, they try to find out the research topics and the research questions and the research depth, not from the right place. They go to the teacher, they go to the other students, but actually that the research questions, the research topics, or the research gap, they come from the literature review. तो हमें अपनी रिसर्च स्टार्ट करने से पहले इसके बारे में पढ़ना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दिस इज द लिटरेचर रिव्यू फ्रॉम वेयर द रिसर्च क्वेश्चन एंड रिसर्च गैप्स दे इमर्ज. और डॉक्टर साहब, ये आपने बहुत रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चन है और बहुत अच्छा है, और इस पर मेरे ख्याल से ज़्यादा बात की भी जा सकती है लिटरेचर रिव्यू पर, बिकॉज नॉर्मली और आप भी बेहतर जानते हैं कि दिस इज द मोस्ट इग्नोर्ड पार्ट ऑफ आवर जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स की रिसर्च में होता है, और जबकि दिस इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट. सो द लिटरेचर रिव्यू is the place from where we should find the research questions, the research topics, and the research gap. Thank you, sir.
And what about the contemporary writers, writers from Pakistani literature? If some novel is published this year, how they can collect relevant material in terms of literature review?
जी डॉक्टर साहब, बिल्कुल ये जो डेफिनेटली कंटेम्प्रेरी जो राइटर्स हैं उनके बारे में मेरे पास जो सबसे बड़ा है.
Sir, you are not audible.
नहीं, वो आवाज. You are not audible, sir.
Talk to the authors जो हैं, जो मतलब राइटर थे, उनसे भी हम बात कर सकते हैं, and they can provide us all the material there. Anyway, contemporary knowledge or contemporary research or contemporary material very
significant, very important, because if you research का एक जो सबसे बड़ा फीचर है, this is contemporariness. So to be attached with the contemporary knowledge, definitely we should go for the contemporary literature and contemporary books. So उसकी availability of different sources that we can go for.
And
you.
the last point from my side,
Yeah.
there was distortion actually. Okay, there was some sort of issue while you were talking. Please differentiate conceptual framework and theoretical framework for students of literature side.
जी. अच्छा प्लीज देखिए, अभी जैसे मैंने उसमें लास्ट में बात की थी, that one is that the theories. So the theoretical framework, definitely we need to know that what the theories or the theories that we are working on. We know about the basics, the fundamentals of the theories, and then how we are going to apply them, how we are going to apply these theories for our analysis. So whatever the text that we have selected, and now we want to apply these theories on this. For this, we also need a framework. So we should know both the things, that these are the theoretical models and these are the applications of these theoretical models or these theories in our work. Thank you, sir.
Any other question, please? Audience. Thank you so much, Dr. Saab. Thank you so
Yes.
much. This was very informative lecture. And I once again thank you on behalf of Qurtuba University and from my department. Thank you so
sir.
much. We will remain in touch, inshallah, and
Sure,
we will be seeking guidance from you. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. So thank you, sir. It was a very good time with all of you, and I am thankful that with the patience that with which you listened the session. And Dr. Saab, the real credit that goes to you for arranging such a good session, and inshallah we'll be in contact with each other. Thank you, sir. Allah
Inshallah. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.